Hey, what's up, boxing fans?
Talladega scores about 116 to 112.
This is the Rope-A-Dope Report.
117 to 111. Patricia Morris-Jarman, 117 to 111. All for the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated and still IBF.
Tarver's shaking his head. I don't know why he's shaking his head. He may have had... What's up, folks? Boxing fans out there. This is the Rope-A-Dope Report. I'm your host, Chris Carlson. Just got done watching the Tarver. Dawson, Bad Chad Dawson. Dawson landed 209 to 121. Not like I'm all about the punch stats, but he did throw almost as much. Tarver did throw more punches, probably by about 80 or something like that. But he almost doubled them, Dawson, in punches land. Anyway, let's talk about this fight. This is the after the fight box score of the rematch that nobody wanted to see, but it was in the contract, and that's the only way he could actually fight. Chad Dawson had a choice, and he could only fight Tarver if he had a rematch clause. This is the clause he could have put forth in 6 months. He decided to do it right away, so that's why he had to do it. It was a contract. It wasn't Dawson's fault necessarily. Anyway, let's talk about it. The first 3 rounds, Dawson came out strong. Emmanuel Stewart did talk about the fight and the style of the fight, where it's one guy gets off and then the other guy gets off. One guy, not a lot of exchanges. And so it got out to a good pace, but there was some of that, and it was mostly Dawson. Then in the 4th and 5th round, Tarver came alive. I thought even in the 3rd he started coming alive. But Tarver really came alive in the 4th and 5th. So, you know, he looked okay. But then again, Dawson was kind of getting inside that pocket. Floyd Mayweather would do this a lot, and I say that because Mayweather Sr., I believe Sr., trained Dawson for a time. Don't know how long, but definitely trained him, and you can see it in his style. But he was coming inside the pocket slowly but surely, and Tarver was just kind of getting off and looking better in the fight in the 4th and 5th round. But Dawson kind of slowly came in there. In the 4th round, he wasn't throwing the punches back. He was really just sitting there like this, but slowly inching forward inside to the pocket. And then he came out in the 5th round and then, you know, was doing the same thing, but at least getting off. And then he started taking the fight over. There was some times, let me see, I think Dawson was buzzed a little bit in the 7th. They both got buzzed a couple times. But after the 7th round, I would say it started turning into the fight that nobody wanted to see. You know, it started getting slow. And Tarver kind of fought really weird. You know, 2 rounds, you'd be like, oh, he's looking old and slow and tired. And you could just see his demeanor wasn't there. But then, you know, for 2 rounds, he'd be alive again. It was kind of weird. They kept saying that Dawson, in some of his fights, in the 9th, the 10th, and 11th, and 12th round, the championship rounds, that he fades. And, you know, he's fought some good fighters. Glenn Johnson, Tomas Adamek. These are guys that wear you down and actually have better second halves of the fight. And both guys landed good punches. Obviously, Tomas Adamek knocked Dawson down. So I think that has to do with it too. But it is true. In the 9th and 10th, he didn't look as strong. Well, the 9th he did. You know, the fight itself after the 7th, like I said, the 8th and the 9th and the 10th really kind of, then the fight started turning into real slow stuff that you didn't really want to watch anymore. I had taped it. I just got home from work, so I was fast forwarding through the round break, which is something I don't really do much. But then it got a little better. Like I said, you know, Dawson did what he had to do. Now let's see let's see what's next for him. Obviously, before we go there, let's talk about Tarver. I think he should pretty much quit. He showed okay tonight, but kind of the same old thing. Sometimes his punches had some real pop on him, and that was the danger. I did think Dawson came out more aggressive than he usually is, and coming forward and with, like I said, with the hands up, and he showed like he was a little more aggressive for about the first 6 to 7 rounds, and then there was a dip in there, and looked like, you know, he is conservative. He has been hit, like I said, and hurt late in fights and gotten through it. But I think it may be, I don't know. I don't know if he fades. I don't know what it is. But they do have a point. Emmanuel Stewart and, you know, Lampley, they were talking about this on the HBO coverage. And they have a point, but I really think it's just Dawson being smart. He has pop, it has speed, but he doesn't have a lot of power. So he's got to do what he's got to do. But Dawson gets the decision. I think Tarver should be, pretty much done if he wanted to fight one of those fights that you do at the end of the career, much like maybe what Hatton will do. Fight in front of your home crowd. I'm not even drinking tonight, I guess, and I'm stuttering. Well, I'm not drinking yet, anyway. Well, I'm going to have a couple before I go to sleep. This one goes to Dawson. I still think he's a really young. He's only 26 or 27. Good champ. A lot of, I think Bernard Hopkins would be a tough fight for him, but I do think that would be a really good fight. I don't know if that's going to happen. I do think he would be able to handle Paul Williams. I know I might get some bad comments for that. I think it'd be a great fight, though. Don't get me wrong. But I do think he'd beat Paul Williams. There's some talk about that. Maybe Kessler, maybe Carl Froch, maybe Boutte from Montreal. Either way, he's got to go to 168. If he doesn't get Hopkins at 175, go to 168, chase Kessler, chase the titles down there, get more name around. If you start beating your European fighters, you will get your name around the world, and slowly, kind of like I think Lampley said, or somebody said that he might have to do what Bernard Hopkins had to do and just keep winning for a while. And prove your dominance, because the 175, there's not much left there. He's fought Glenn Johnson, he's fought Tarver, he needs to fight Hopkins. He fought Thomas Adamek when he was there. So he's fought solid fighters for being 26. So I like Dawson for the future. Let me know what you guys think of. The fight tonight wasn't that great, but it had its spots. It was exciting in moments. But anyway, this has been the After the Fight box score edition of the Rope and Dope Report. I am your host, Chris Carlson. Peace.